Previously on the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve.
Oh god! Oh god! Oh no! Oh god! What must I give up on? Is not the question you have to ask yourself here. It's what can I protect? You're not there. I don't believe it. Wait, what are you doing? What about Kazuma? They don't know that the guy never made it to England, that he died on that steamship. His body should have been unladen at the port of Hong Kong. Well, it turns out that his body never arrived. The idea that he might still be alive somewhere. It wants to fill me with hope, but I can't let it. Because if it turned out not to be true, it would be like he died all over again.
Okay, so where were we?
Welcome back to Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve, everybody. I am moving out of town. We have a lot of places to go here, a lot of investigating to do, and I think the best place to start is probably here. Good old Mr. Holmes' suite. He's probably not here, because he's probably at that museum place. But Iris might be here. I don't know. Let's find out. Oh, da 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 da. Oh no, she said she was going to get the tea or something, right? Wow, so we could just do anything in here, couldn't we? Huh. I finally managed to remember this behemoth's name, the Great Analytoscope. I don't think it was here when I left for Japan, was it? Oh, is that right? Look. Yeah, because it was with the pawnbroker. Oh, that's right. Of course. That ridiculous pawnbroker. Oh, that's giving me a wonderful idea. Hey, who's working there now, anyway? Because he, like, died in that case. I could pawn everything that's on your desk. The office would be tidy at last. Don't even joke about it, Miss Usono. You are joking, aren't you? Nope! Eustace, have you no sense of hospitality?
Nope.
Oh, yeah, there's the thing. Wait, hang on. The viola, the fake violin or whatever. Nothing particular of note. It's because I didn't look at it. Right? This is Mr. Holmes' famous violin, the one he found being sold for a song at a pawnbrokery. What's it called again? A shoddy something? Shoddy! Oh yes, this wonderful instrument features in the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. I said it wrong, oops. Huh, it's a world-famous Stradivarius. Strata what? Strato, like the Cloudfoot. Stragivore, oh my god. Paku. Are you even trying now? No, I'm not. We'll come back to this another time, I think. Okay, alright. Why am I even doing this? Like, I have no idea. It's fun hanging out with Susanoo again, you know? Seeing all her comments on everything here. I do like this fireplace. I do love a good burger. It's one of the best things I've seen since we arrived in the country, in fact. Although, I do yearn for a Japanese kotatsu. Putting your legs under a warm blanket table, so comforting. Do be careful, Mr. Naruto. Don't mistakenly put your feet into the fire, will you? You'd suffer terrible burns, you know. Well, crap. You'd be like in that song, where that Boardwalk song, where he's like, and your shoes are so hot, you wish your tired feet were fireproof. If I remember correctly, this large and imposing lump of iron is called the typewriter. To think that every single one of the adventures of Sherlock Holmes blossomed from this very machine. Oh, it's such a dreamy thought. I actually had to go on it the other day. The metal bars that move when you hit the keys got all yeah, we've seen this. Okay, alright, yeah. You're ruining my dreamy thoughts. Please don't do that. Okay, maybe that was different, though. I don't know. Huh. See, I hope I didn't miss anything here. I guess there's the math board. This blackboard is where Iris scribbles down her latest ideas. Let's see. She seems to have drawn a lot of little stick figures all lined up. Look. Cheap apples at the market is what all of them say. What? The little figures can speak? Ugh. All your questions would be answered if only you would read this month's Rance magazine. So I'm the only one who can't make any sense of this. Jeez. I'm the only one who doesn't get the references. Wow. Iris's pretty little tea set is set out beautifully as ever, look. Well, it's only by carefully taking care of a tea set that you can make good tea. Is that a roundabout way of telling me I need to tidy my desk? No, I didn't say anything. You do overthink things at times. Oh man, so good to have you back. Well, I guess there's one more thing here. Mr. Holmes' curious collection of trinkets from the various mysteries he solved. Right. It's one of my favorite parts of this room, full of items with such exciting tales to tell. And I do believe he's added to it since I last looked. Now there's a mysterious pince-nez, a mysterious little box, a mysterious horseshoe, a mysterious biscuit. You know, because we got Mothcup. We got the Mothcup. Wait, what are you saying? I think that last one might just be one of Iris' unfinished snacks. Oh, that's lovely. Alright then, let's move. Let's see. Oh man, okay, the office, or the prison, or this. Oh god, there's so many places. Let's just go down the list here. Why not? Something tells me we'll need to do all this. Oh boy. Wait, huh? It's the silver-haired dude. Why is he here? Why is he talking to him? Is that him? I don't know. Oh, who's that standing beside Lord Stronghart? I wonder. I've never seen her before. Her? Huh. Oh, somebody's here. Maybe Sephiroth got a, went trans. I don't know. That'd be pretty hot. Ah, the young champion of the court. You had some success this morning, I understand. Perfect, crooked, 20-degree face. Something about the angle of this face. It's like, I don't know. And you've thrown the entire government into disarray as a result. You stubborn asshole. You mean because of Professor Harebrain's experiment? Sham science being demonstrated at London's Great Exhibition. What'll they think of next? The country's been made to look foolish, now politicians are scrabbling to respond. Scrabbling? Did you mean scrambling? I don't know. Lord Van Zeeks is in Whitehall as we speak, giving an emergency briefing. I didn't know he had to do crap like that. Oh dear, I didn't mean to cause any trouble. Well, you did! Now get out of my face. None of this is your responsibility. The government is entirely to blame for having been taken in. Taken in again. The special dispensation that prevents investigation at the scene will be annulled later today. Once that happens, my forensic investigation team will move in and deal with that scrap metal in no time. It's scrap metal now, is it? Wow, okay. Not to be confused with that chick from Investigations 1. What was her name again? Callisto Yu, I believe? I kept thinking Shu at first, and then at the last second I remembered it. So later then, Lord Stronghart. That is, I'll tell you. They said they were very thin. They said they had silver, long hair, but I thought they said black trench coat. Maybe I'm wrong, misremembering. Who was that? That was Dr. Courtney Shite. What? Wait a minute. Courtney Scythe. Huh. Scotland Yard's esteemed chief coroner. Are you sure? She's leading the forensic investigation team's handling of this case. She was just delivering her report about the victim, in fact. Oh, I see. That Mr. Assman. Following the outcome of the trial earlier, I asked the coroner's office to reevaluate its findings. And you know what they said? They said, I don't have time to tell you what she concluded. If you want to know, you'll have to ask her directly. Well, she just ran out the door. Let's go after her. You can find her in the forensics laboratory. Location added. Now, what were you here to see me about again? I only have 27 minutes left. I can give you 7 minutes and... Oh, oh, jeez. Again, with me, like, pointing out these jokes before they come. So he's not running quite so spectacularly late anymore. Well, that's good to hear. Finally caught up, did you? Anything else to talk about? Oh, jeez, I guess there is. What exactly is the FIT that you mentioned before? There's like so many groups, and they're all like, eh. The British Empire's police force must become the most exemplary in the world. For that to happen, we have to write the word sheriff on all their cars. Even though there's only one sheriff, we gotta scare them, For that to happen, it's imperative that we embrace forensic science and everything it has to offer. I first created the FIT a year ago now, unofficially, of course, to pave the way. Goodness, a year ago? Yeah, a year's a long time, man, let me tell you. At next month's symposium, I intend to present the results of their work to the world. Once I do that, the House of Lords will be powerless to lordly oppose the creation of a full-scale Lord Forensics Division, the LFD. It sounds like LSD, and that's not a coincidence. Once that happens, the position of Attorney General will be mine, and criminals will suffer dearly. What do you mean? For too long, those scoundrels have made a mockery of our legal system with false evidence and bribes. But London's scum is about to be rounded up and burnt in the fires of hell. Damn. Still a good guy, has to be. Because that would be more unexpected at this point. I intend to see to it personally, Commander. There will be no one to stop us this time. Yes, sir! By creating the finest police force our world has ever known, to protect our honor and our future. Look at those eyes, he means every word. His irises are white. It's amazing. Dr. Shite is an extremely reliable coroner. When I officially establish the Forensics Division at Scotland Yard, she will run it as my right-hand woman. Oh, look at that. We're down to 5 minutes and 28 seconds. Now then, speaking of the symposium, Miss Mikotova. Yes? Yes, my lord? Your father should be on the high seas as we speak, making his way here to represent the Empire of Japan. Yeah, that's right. I understand he will arrive at the beginning of next month. Are you acquainted, Lord Stronghart? Professor Mikotoba, I mean. Who isn't at this point? It was many years ago now, but yes, I remember Dr. Mikotoba very well. Just gonna check something here. How old are you? Oh, you're 53, okay. Oh, we still got all these other people in here. Good lord, dude. Lord Hairbrain, let's see, Gina, Tobias, Esmeralda. Man, holy golly, man, we got a lot of profiles in here. Scotland Yard Coroner, leader of the forensic investigation team, and one of Lord Strongheart's most trusted allies. Maybe she's like a spy or something, I don't know. Oh my. So surprising. Oh, Dr. Mikotoba, okay. Alright, we've been hearing this name, but like, I still feel like we know so little actually about him. If my memory serves, it was some 15 years ago now that your father came to Britain as a visiting student. It was the year I was born. So yeah, 16 years ago, in fact. 16, not 15? Wait, I was off by a year? Oh crap. I gotta check my numbers again. Mikotoba was a young practitioner of forensic science, and Jigoku accompanied him as a young, promising judge. He was not so young anymore, but you wouldn't know it from the way he throws people around. The punk and politeness of the Japanese at the time impressed us greatly. The punctiliousness, I think that's it. Is that like longer is that like punctual, basically? Yeah. Not that I wish to imply impoliteness or carelessness on your part in any way. I didn't think that you were. Dr. Mikotoba studied forensics at one of London's large hospitals. St. Sinners, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, is that where he made the thing from Case 1, then? Dr. Scheidt was also there then, as it happens. Huh. Then Dr. Scythe knows my father, does she? Like I said, who doesn't? She was a young medical assistant at the time, so I doubt their paths crossed regularly. Is she the real Giselle Brecht? I know Giselle was there at some point. Well, no, she was like working there, though. But I've no doubt they knew each other superficially. Tangentially, as it were. After all, Dr. Mikotoba was here studying his subject for some 6 years in total. 6 years? That's a long time to be studying abroad, isn't it? Well, you do what you gotta do. I lived with my grandmother in those years. So he left his newly born daughter behind and went overseas for 6 whole years? Huh. Wow. It was a rather turbulent time at home. Oh no. Oh. Perhaps father wanted a reason to get away. What do you mean? Why? Who is your mom? Like, have we... Surely we know that now and I'm just brain farting, right? Well, clearly something was going on at the time. Okay. Well, Lord Van Zeek's always a pleasure to talk about that man. Let's hear it. I wanted to ask you about Lord Van Zeek's, actually. I heard that his older brother was killed some years ago by a mass murderer known as the Professor, who targeted nobles and royalty. Is that right? Yeah, it just so happens that's me. You Japanese are a thorough lot. You've done your research well. Or you just have friends that know everything and they tell you. And you could say it was that very incident that gave rise to the Reaper. Yeah, that's what we heard too. That's why he became a prosecutor, because... Yeah, because of that. When his brother, Clint Van Zeeks, was murdered. What kind of stupid name is that anyway? It was just after young Barack had graduated from the University of London and become a prosecutor. Oh, wait, run it back? Hang on a second. When his brother was murdered, it was just after... So that was after he graduated and became a prosecutor. Maybe he did prosecute the case then. But the Reaper thing happened because of that, not him becoming a prosecutor. Is that what we're saying here? Trying to keep my facts straight. When obvious criminals who managed to evade conviction in court started disappearing, rumors quickly spread throughout the capital. Londoners started to say that wherever Barack Van Zeeks went, the ghost of his dead brother wasn't far behind. Oh my word! So is that why he's got the assistant? To make people believe that, maybe? Sure as hell hope not. So Lord Van Zeeks isn't the Reaper, it's the ghost of his brother? Wait, that was Ryunosuke that said that, by the way. Why are you talking like a girl? Ever since that time, he became a very aloof figure in London's legal circles. Ooh, we're gonna get some art here. Oh, no, I guess not. Just back to him again. Oh yes, Lord Stronghart. Go ahead. It's about Professor Hairbrain's experimental machine. We'd like your permission to examine the remains, if possible. Well, everybody's free to examine it now, based on what you just did, so yeah, go right ahead. Are you well versed in science, then? Not in the slightest. In fact, you could say I was barely aware of the subject at all until recently. Well, the special dispensation legally preventing investigation of the machine is currently being annulled. Yeah, you said that before, or some variation thereof. Within a few hours, Dr. Sith's team of forensic and... Oh my god, it's actually Sith. It just so happens I'm recording this on Revenge of the 5th. 5th of May. So within a few hours, Dr. Sith's team of forensic experts will begin their own investigation. But I suppose until then, there's no harm in you looking at the wreckage, as long as you touch nothing. Thank you. You know, for as evil as this guy almost seems to be, he's very cooperative. He always lets me do stuff. He's like my dad or something. And I'll be able to see it too. Yes, you need to be able to see this. Your time is up. You'll have to excuse me now, I'm afraid. My next engagement calls. Okay, see you later. We are extremely sorry to have troubled you when you are so busy, my lord. Oh god, she's so polite. I have important matters to attend to in preparation for the symposium, you understand. And that's it for the office. So what does the Susudo have to say about the suits of armor, then? The Susudos of armor? These very European suits of armor are still glaring at each other across the carpet. In a way, they feel like guardians of the Lord Chief Justice's office. I suppose. They're rather like the lion dogs that guard shrines in Japan, aren't they? Hey, yeah. Are they a bit too human to be called lion dogs? They can stand on two legs. Did you know that it's a dream of mine to keep two cats one day? Aw, I feel as though we've gone off at a bit of a tangent, don't you? Well, lucky cats, if that ever happens. Wait, did we ever examine the lamps last time? Jeez, man. The candelabras. How many times have people been murdered by these things? You couldn't read all these books even if you were reincarnated 6 times over as a bookworm, right? No, he definitely hasn't. I never passed the training program either. Name that movie. Ugh. Thinking about it, Father's study is full of books that look as though they've never been read too. Oh, really? Peddlers of books are forever pushing their wares on him, you see. And I think he's just too kind-hearted to refuse them. Aw, there's a phrase for that in Britain. People would say they saw him coming. What? What is that supposed to mean? It makes me wonder if perhaps the vast number of books on the shelves in here are a sign of Lord Strongheart's overwhelming kind-heartedness. Not sure you could afford to have a kind heart if you had to keep Lord Van Zeeks in line, could you? Yeah, I think we're good here. Moving on, a new location has been at Riot. He told us about that place. So now there's this, too. Jeez. Okay, prison, I guess. Let's go talk to the German dude. Holy God in heaven, man. What are you doing? This ain't Goodwill Hunting? What's he doing? He's still trying to figure out his hypothesis, man. Oh my, the whole wall of the cell is covered in mathematical equations. That is so cool, though. Oh my god. Like, that's gonna be there for... Is that a spider? What the fuck is that? Jeez, wait, there is something crawling up the TV. Alright, I can't see it now because it went out past Susudo's hair. Alright, I'm just gonna roll it back down here. Where did it go? That wasn't in the game, right? What if that was in the game? I'm pretty sure I saw a spider crawling up the TV. It was really tiny, like, I don't know. And he's still writing more now. Professor, sorry to interrupt. Oh my god, look at this. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo. And who is this young lady? My name is Susato Megatoba. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant. And you're in very good hands now. It's a pleasure to meet you, Professor. Oh, so polite. Oh, that's another movie quote. It's Nutty Professor 2, never mind. Oh, if only I met a refined young woman like you sooner. None of these would have happened. I would have had a reason to live besides all this science crap, man. No, that's not logical. That makes no sense at all. Oh dear, I'm sorry if my presence here upsets you. Oh. I owe you an apology too, Professor. I didn't manage to deliver what I promised you I would in court this morning. Oh, no. The whole miserable affair. It all happened because I've been such a complete and utter clod. You clod. Oh, Professor Hairbrain. What have you been working on in your cell? I wouldn't be surprised if all this actually means something. Well? Oh, you mean that. Oh dear, how embarrassing. I was suddenly struck by an idea, you see, and I simply had to write it down. The wall was all I had to hand. Oh, some new hypothesis? Something to surpass super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, maybe? Oh, no, actually. This is my autobiography. Wow, dude. Your autobiography? Are you a robot? I was diddled and fiddled by Albert Harebrain. I found I could represent my odd fortunes with only odd numbers in an ambitious set of simultaneous equations. Really? I'm going to have to pay back all the loans I took for the kinesis machine, you see. So I'm going to have to sell all my Pokemon cards. That's what I'm going to have to do. So it's going to be a new serial publication from the next month. Part 1, an odd birth, an odd upbringing. Can't beat the man's optimism, that's for sure. I mean, yeah, this is true. Well, for now, would you mind if we talked a little more about the case? Oh, yes, of course. I've been working through the numbers. I was diddled, I was fiddled, by the pair of them. By Asman, and by that aloof engineer Drebber. We're not going to have to sit through an explanation of all these equations, are we? No, this is not Lord Stronghart, he won't do that. Oh, well, converse then. This morning's trial. What did you think of it? Everything I believed in has been turned on its head. My research, Mr. Asman, the kinesis machine, my hypothesis even. I'm sorry it's come to this. There was really no other way. No, it's not your fault. I wanted to protect my work, but in the end there was nothing worth protecting. It was never my intention to deceive anyone. I didn't want to trick the public. But in court this morning I realized something. Oh? If you've done something wrong without knowing it, you've still done something wrong. Logically, it makes no difference if you're aware of it or not. I could talk about that all day long, because let me tell you. Ignorance is a poor excuse. The blame still lies with me. Oh, Professor. He believed in me this morning, you know. Brock did. He believed in my hypothesis. Well, I think that was just a necessary factor in the prosecution establishing its case. No, Brock wouldn't do something like that. I'm sure he genuinely believed it. Did he? Did he study this? I don't know. I think I understand now. Why it was that he decided to take on the prosecution in my trial, I mean. Okay, you have any ideas? Yeah, sure, let's hear about this now. Please, now. After the Z-Turtle accident happened, nobody would believe in my hypothesis anymore. Not the police, not the prosecution service, not any lawyers even. I feel like I dealt some kind of finishing blow there. So if any other prosecutor had taken the case, if it was anyone other than Brock, I'm sure the prosecution would have declared my hypothesis a complete and utter nonsense. And in that case, you would have been declared a fraud yourself, Professor. Better to be guilty than to be a fraud? I mean, I don't know, I can almost see that, I guess. You know, it's a classic case of winning the war by losing a battle, one of those things. Kind of like Red White getting the wiretap charges and accepting them to get off of the murder charge or whatever. Although I'd say this is maybe on a little bit bigger scale than that. Exactly, which would have been a fate worse than death for me. Jeez. But Brock insisted that I was a proper man of science from start to finish. You think that's why he... I know him very well, indeed. He's an extremely kind-hearted soul, yeah, it's the second time we've heard that. I don't remember if it was him that told us the first time. Oh yeah, somebody else. But that extremely hind-hearted soul. Oh, I love Spoonerisms. Spent all morning trying to paint you as a murderer, didn't he? Well, you know. Well, admittedly, that part of the analysis appears to have some flaws in it. And what about the whole Reaper side of things? How does that fit in with the kind-hearted soul idea? Okay, Mr. Asman, let's hear about it. Do you think he set out to trick me from the very start? I'm sorry to say, that does seem likely, yes. Oh, damn it. When I first met him, he introduced himself as a wealthy financier. He looked over the paper I'd written and said my work would benefit all of humanity and must be pursued. He was so enthused, he was so emphatic. But in reality, he was the mastermind of some vast criminal network, it seems. Ugh. Careful what you wish for. I still can't believe it. As the machine was essentially a set decoration for some stage magic. Huh, it probably didn't require a large amount of investment, actually. Investment? But the scale of it, it wasn't just some small trick. It was a very elaborate feat of deception. All young scientists are full of hope about their burgeoning ideas, full of zeal. But none of them made it into Chrono Trigger, that bitch made it instead. Not only that, she got the name Zeal. I mean, I hate her. But none of us have any money. We want to do research, but we can't afford it. Many of us take on barely legal part-time work to try to earn just a few measly pennies to carry on. To go through all of that, only to be taken for a complete fool. It's too rotten to believe. It is, I agree. A third, and that's why we have to find those responsible and bring them to justice. Mr. Asman is no more, of course, which leaves only the engineer. Mr. Enoch Drebber. Yep, you know it. Drebber the engineer, is he dribbling all over everything? It seems weird that Asman would like if they were in on it together, would he really sacrifice his life? Are there more wax figures involved? Like, okay, because I was thinking between videos, what if the Asman that was on the stage was a wax model? And then I started thinking, what if the Asman that fell from the balloon inside the birdcage thing was also a wax model with some blood painted on him? How ridiculous would that be? Is he an engineer, or magician, or swindler? Or all three? It was about a year ago when Mr. Asman first brought Drebber to meet me in my laboratory. Since then, I've met him many times to discuss details about the kinesis machine. But at no point did you have any inkling that he was just an illusionist? Oh, he definitely wasn't just an illusionist. What do you mean? He was a wealth of deep scientific knowledge. There's no question that the man's a genuine scientist. It's instantly apparent in conversation. I see. But the wretched man deceived you, Professor. It's unforgivable. We must do everything we can to find him and bring him to justice. Yeah, we said that already. Are there no more clues you can give us as to his whereabouts? He's probably in my trunk. No, I don't think I left him there. I'm sorry, we only ever discussed the kinesis machine, nothing else. Wow. Nothing else at all? You never played video games together? Although, just once. Oh, just once? Did you have Cinnamon Toast Crunch together? I did visit his workshop. Oh. Drebber's enormous fabrication laboratory, where he constructed my great machine. Fabrication laboratory. Did you know that that's what it was called at the time? Because I gotta tell you. Why didn't you mention this before? Enoch Drebber's workshop. Location added. There's every chance we might find the man there. We might find the butthead. Oh, Drebber's workshop. Here we go. Where is it? It's down the street. Okay, let's go. So you've been to Drebber's place of work, then? Yeah, just once, you understand. It was an enormous place. Plenty of room to construct the kinesis machine, you see. Where can we find it? We have to go there at once. There's a good chance we'll find Drebber there. Sorry, I'm going a little slow here. Well, yes, definitely. I'm sure. As in, I'm sure you're not going to want to hear this. What, is he dead too now? But I have absolutely no idea where the workshop is at all. But you went there. Were you taken there as a prisoner, blindfolded or something? I'm so sorry. Like, you work with somebody and you don't know... Well, okay, you don't always know where your co-workers live, but I don't know. If the machine was being built there, you think he would know, like, where it... I was more than half expecting that. Oh. You see, I was blindfolded in the carriage the entire way there. Oh, he really was. He blindfolded you. He wasn't taking any chances then. The place was incredible. The pinnacle of modern engineering, and it had no windows so I couldn't see outside. Even the oil he used was the very best. A special French machine oil that's impossible to obtain in Britain. Ugh. When he does this pose, he looks sort of evil, but eh. Ah, the indescribable scent of that imported oil. It smells like Noxzema. The perfumers across the world should forget this secret formula and use that instead. What do you think, Miss Susanoo? UD Machine for your next birthday? Wow, dude! Actually, that might be OD Machine, is how you pronounce that. But I've never used any kind of perfume, Mr. Naruhodo. I just smell good, and I'm not sure I'd like to start with that. I use baby powder. I suppose you know even part of the workshop's address, Professor. You don't have a business card for Mr. Drebber, for example. The man was certainly very cautious, Miss Susanoo. I'm sure he... Yes, I do! He gave me his business card once. It's right here, look! Oh, she's... There's that spider again. What is that, man? That is... Yeah, that's definitely real. Why did he get... How did he get all the way back to the bottom of the TV? Is that not the same spider? Okay, it was a real bug. Sorry, Susanoo, you're not gonna suplex him through the bars. Throw etiquette to the wind, why don't you? I don't care about etiquette. I don't even know what that means. Enoch Drebber, engineer. I'm afraid that's all it says. There's no address, no URL, no email, no Twitter. Oh well, I can't say I'm surprised. Still, this could be useful. Drebber's card has been entered. Oh, jeez. Let's look on the back of it. Maybe you see a picture of 3 cats. Yeah, here we go. Let's see. Examine. Enoch Drebber, engineer. Wait, what? What's this? Is that an oil stain? This dark smudge here. I think perhaps it's part of your underwear. I mean, machine oil. Yeah. Huh, yes, possibly. Don't talk about my underwear. Professor Hairbrain mentioned something about the oil Mr. Drebber uses, didn't he? He said it was specially imported, very high-quality oil that's impossible to obtain in Britain. Yeah, that's right. But more importantly, that it's more fragrant than the finest perfume. So excuse me a moment. Oh boy. Oh, it doesn't appear to have any scent at all. Don't worry. I expect that's just because there's such a tiny amount on here. Smear of machine oil on the reverse. Okay. Alrighty then. I'm glad we did that. What is this here? It's a photograph of the balloon. Okay, we've seen that. We don't need to look at that again. Yeah, I guess we're done here. Unless... Can I, like, present that now that I've found the thing on the back? I'll try it. Professor Hairbrain, what do you make of this? Oh yes, that's just what we needed to prove my hypothesis, isn't it? No, this is garbage. It's nothing to do with your hypothesis, actually. Then take it away. I don't want to be bothered with anything that doesn't assist my science. Alright, keep your abundant hair on. He does have a lot of it. Now that we know the crossbow isn't what hit the victim, this goes back to making it possible again that the screwdriver could have been the thing that stabbed him. Huh. Oh, it's Andrew, my faithful friend. How have you been? Are you alright? Nobody's mistreated you, have they? Oh my god, it's turning into Toy Story over here. Don't worry, he's being very well looked after. We actually watched Toy Story 3 the other night, and in my opinion, was the best one yet. I always rub him with machine oil until he's gleaming. Good lord, dude. And then, when I come home to tighten the screw with him, he slips in my hand and I can't do it. Good lord! It's that age-old problem faced by driver files the world over, isn't it? Please stop talking. Oh my god. Oh. Okay. Okay, we've seen everything else already, so I guess it's time to get out of here. Man, okay. Well, we're getting there. Experimentation stage. This is where I imagine the bulk of the investigation is going to happen, and we're all ready. Closing in on the old 45 minutes here, I tell you. Still balloon bursts in the air. Alright. Oh my gosh! Oh, look at that. Oh. I had no idea there were so many people in the world. I know what you mean. It's really packed here today. It feels as though it's taken us 2 hours just to make our way through the crowds to this point. Has it? I shut my brain down, so I didn't really notice, to be honest. Gosh, I do wish I had your absence of mind sometimes. It helps a lot, let me tell you. There you are, I had a feeling you lot would show your mugs before long, said Luigi. Yeah, there's Luigi. Oh, Inspector Gregson, I see you're hard at work as usual. Sorry about digging through the trash the other night. Warm greetings to you. I do hope you've been keeping well since last we met. Who are you and what have you done with Luigi? With all the ceremony, we just saw each other in court this morning. Not you, Sunshine. The gentlewoman so loyally. Oh, yeah, duh. Oh, why, thank you, Inspector. How good of you to notice. He might be a bit rough around the edges, but he's still a proper English gentleman at heart, I suppose. As you probably guessed, we were hoping to investigate the scene some more, now that we can. Right, well, it's the young trainee's domain. That's the young trainee's domain. Oh, yeah. Right, Can't tell if she's like... I think he's just playing with him. She seems to be busy playing with a puppy. Probably giving it a traditional East End training. Gina? She's a police officer now? Oh, yeah, right. We didn't tell you about that part, did we? Amazing, isn't it? She's a good kid, actually. Heart's in the right place, anyway. She's got the detection bug, if you ask me. Yep, I think she'll follow in my footsteps nicely. What do you mean? Is there gonna be a third game of this? I'm being transferred. It's time for me to say toodaloo to London. Really? That's a bit sudden, yeah. Oh, I don't know about that. Where are you going to be posted, then? We'll come to see how you're getting along, if we can afford the travel tickets. Not likely, but you're welcome to try, if you don't mind a trip to France, that is. France? That's where that oil comes from that the guy uses, I think he said. I'll be working in the Paris Police Prefecture, the PPP. Should be right in my alley, even though it has PP in it. France? It's an entirely different country. I don't understand. Why would you be sent there? That's the way the adult world works, sunshine. Now don't go poking your nose anywhere it's not wanted. I'm intending to take the kid with me when I go. Wait, what? You're taking Gina? Oh. Well, I can't leave her here in London. Who knows what become of her? I suppose he's worried she slipped back into slipping her hands into people's slips and purses. I don't think he's worried about her pickpocketing, Mr. Naruhodo. I think he's worried about the Reaper. Huh? Do you believe all that? I mean, a lot of people do, apparently. So that's playing on Inspector Gregson's mind too, is it? Anyway, I haven't mentioned any of this to Gina, so don't go blabbing, you hear me? No, of course not. Man, I want that fish and chips. That looks so good right now. I gotta keep that diving diva safe and sound, until all this is over at least. Well, hello. Oi, did you just call me a bloomin' diva again? Diving diva? So you heard that, did you? Right, well, any questions about the scene? You can put them to my capable detective diva here. And off he goes, I guess. Alright, you're the boss. Inspector Lestrade's in charge here now. Yeah, I suppose. I suppose I better keep my word and not mention anything about Paris. So, Gina, you got a new dog, have you? It's not mine. Oh, I wish. Oh, look at. Oh my god, don't. Oh, this is. No, dude. Toby's his name. Oh, this is the cutest thing I've ever seen. How delightful. He's absolutely adorable. Yes, the dog does seem lovely. But it's the not-so-lovely Inspector Gregson that's playing on my mind, to be honest. Wow, yeah, I mean... Alright, I guess we're conversing, then. Oh, I don't know why that changed. Investigating the scene. I do like this theme a lot, too. Gina, we were actually hoping that we could investigate the scene again. Yeah, alright. If it's around here, you all do what you like. Oh, that's alright, is it? Well, you know. I'm just too busy playing with my dog, like I'm gonna mess around with it. I'll be playing with my new friend here. Yeah, Toby. Toby. Oh, the machine that exploded must be at the top of the stairs, I presume. That's right. I haven't actually seen it yet, so if you don't mind. Sorry, can't go up there, Suze. Oh man, Suze. Is that like booze? It's like I told Otto yesterday, even I ain't allowed near that wreck. What's it called again? The reason we ain't supposed to touch it? The SSPPA or whatever? SPSEA, actually. Easy to remember because the word C is in it. The word C as in SEA. Is that what you were thinking of? That's the one! That's why only them lots are allowed to investigate it. What are they called again? The oh yeah, the FIT. The FIT. Okay, I'm starting to get these straight now. Is that what you were thinking of? But there was some other one too, though. Some other acronym, anyway. But isn't it the case that the special dispensation has been lifted? I think so. I don't really get it, to be truthful with you. You're still supposed to get permission from some bigwig or other, as far as I know. Oh, well, let me tell you, we've been talking to some bigwigs. What was his name again? Lord Strange something? I'm not sure that's quite right, Gina. I think you mean Lord Stronghart, perhaps. Lord Maul. That's the one, yeah. Apparently he's always watching time or something. Actually, We've just recently been to see Lord Stronghart. Ah, you what? You've met him? Last time the boss was called to go and see him, he waited for 3 hours at the Cove's office, came back sniveling. Tragic. Yes. Oh, man. Well, Lord Stronghart has given us permission to examine the scene, as long as we touch nothing. You got any proof of this? Honestly. Well, that's proof enough for me. Wait a minute. Alright then, go ahead. But if it turns out you're lying, it'll be the boss who gets it. He'll never eat another chip again in his life. I like that she cares about him like that. There is sort of an implied father-daughter relationship between them. And we haven't seen much of that yet. I would like for it to keep going. So you're still saying all this is above board, are you? I'm sure everything will be fine. That really would be tragic. Alright then, them's the stairs. Off you go. Oh, thank you, Gina. You're wonderful. Wow. Okay, today's trial, I guess... Jeez, I'm up to 45 minutes. Oh! If I didn't have this trip coming up, I would go for an hour, but... It was great, weren't I? I had a right laugh. Was a new one on me, that. You know, being in court and not spending the whole time worrying I'm about to be found out. Yeah, it must be. You did keep a lot of secrets in all your previous court appearances, didn't you? I know. I could practically live in the courthouse now. It's a good thing they don't charge rent. Yeah, and Otto's made things hard for me every single time and all. Just doing my job, Gina. But watching someone else get it in the neck is a lot of fun, actually. It was amazing when you showed that dodgy professor's dodgy experiment was a total fix. The dodgy professor, as you put it, Gina, is Mr. Naruhodo's client. Yeah, I'm starting to wish he wasn't, though. Oh, jeez. You don't want this job anymore? Maybe you should get out now while you still can. Good lord. Let's just go home and play Secret of Mans. It's the boss I feel sorry for, sent off to do the impossible. What do you mean? What do you mean?! He's supposed to arrest that other cove, ain't he? And in time for tomorrow and all? Oh yeah. You know, the dodgy engineer. What's his name again? Drebler. Drebber, not Drebler. Enoch Drebler. Enoch Drebber. That's the one, yeah. So the police are looking for this mysterious man with the black monocle. Right, yeah, that was part of it too. It's putting too much on the boss, if you ask me. He says it's giving him gut ache. You're feeling that stomach ache? This is how a fart breaks. Oh dear, but I do wonder if that isn't actually from all the fried food. Yeah, probably. Well, the engineer's whereabouts. Well, we don't know where he is. That's the end of that topic. So Scotland Yard are trying to track down Mr. Enoch Drebber. I wonder if they've had any luck. He's really funny looking. Got 2 eyes which don't match. Stole a glimpse of a picture of him earlier. I mean, I didn't actually pinch it or nothing. The old devil's got it. Sorry. Luigi? Oh, that blood red plonk. Plonk. What a funny word. Ah, Lord Van Zeeks. He's always had it in for me, that cove. Don't know what he's always scowling about mine. Probably would have been a pretty good boss as it goes. She'd rather be the Reaper's apprentice than a detective's trainee. The way I see it, if the choice is between a chip-guzzling detective and a chalice-glugging demigod, you're equally badly off with both. I suppose you're right. I hadn't thought of it like that. Glad we put that one to bed. Glad we put that into perspective, I suppose. Oh. Anyway, the point is, everyone at the yard's dead set on finding the fishy engineer. But there don't seem to be no clues to go on, so they're stuck. There's nothing that can lead us to Drebber at all? Oh, I love that Toby the dog is important enough to be a topic of conversation here. Let's see what we got. Where'd you find that little mutt then, Gina? Oi, don't be so flaming rude, Otto. Slight overreaction, don't you think? I don't know, mutt is usually kind of derogatory for dogs. Ain't no mutt, alright? Toby's, how'd they put it, astray? Oh yeah, a bona fide detective. Oh? Well, he's got the same scarf, I tell you, or tie or whatever. Sorry. I've given him a proper title and everything. It's Chief Inspector Toby to you. Wow. More senior than Inspector Gregson, is he? Oh, you know it's gotten bad then. Oh, so he's a police dog, is he? The police recruit dogs now? Yep. Well, maybe they didn't back then. I heard that they're already being used officially in Germany as part of their city policing. They're used for chasing criminals and such like. They have a wonderful sense of smell, after all. That does help. I have a fairly good sense of smell myself, as it happens. I can tell undergarments that have been freshly laundered from undergarments that haven't. Okay. That's nothing compared to this little fella, Otto. Oh, really? If you farted 6 days ago, he would be able to tell. Oh no, I'm in trouble. According to what the boss said. Once Toby here's got to go with your drawers. He could chase that scent to the other side of the world. What? To the other side of the world? You mean... he can swim? Oh. Yeah, some dogs can swim. I don't know about across an ocean, but yeah. Mr. Naruhodo, I think you may have missed the point. By rather a wide margin. I just can't believe this little dog. I just can't believe this little dog has such an incredible skill. I'll tell you what. I'm telling you, Otto, there's gonna be more and more dogs doing the bit for the police in future. Yeah, I agree. Right, one of these days, they'll be barking orders at us lot, not the other way around. Oh dear. Sorry, Gina. I don't think I agree with your vision quite that much. Well, anyway, whatever you think about that, Toby is Britain's first police dog. Wow, it's like Forrest Gump. It turns out that he taught Elvis his dance move, now this. I just found him down the East End the other day. Someone just chucked him out onto the street. There you go. I knew she'd lifted him from somewhere. Well, I'll tell you. You know, it's like poetry, sort of. You know, it rhymes. Oh, Gina, you're such a kind-hearted soul, aren't you? To children and to animals. Well, there you go. Do I dare start with the presenting here? We'll do that before we click off of here, so let's try. About this, Gina. Yeah, I'm still learning me letters at the moment. I only know A to E, so if I ain't too much bleeding trouble... Ah, actually, Gina, it's the back of the card that's important. How come? Uh-oh. It's just a dirty old smudge on the back, that's all. Get the dog to sniff it. Turns out there's a very high-quality French machine oil. It has a very particular scent, apparently. You don't say. Let's have a whiff, then. Oh, I don't smell shit. You sure? I don't smell nothing. No, we didn't mean that you should smell it. Oh, right. You mean Toby? Yes. Brilliant. It didn't even cross my mind until we presented the card that we could do that. The sense of smell is so good, he can track people over the oceans, can't he? Oh my god. Professor Harebrained informs us that this oil is unique to Mr. Drebber's workshop, and if it came from France, it wouldn't be anywhere else. Like, it's not in this country, you know. Sniff, sniff, sniff. I think he's picked up a scent. So you mean, if he follows the scent of this oil, Toby could lead us to that Dodger Cove's workshop? That's right, that's exactly what we were hoping! Oh, hell yeah, dude, now that's progress right there. Alright then, we'll give it a go. I'll just borrow that. What? Wait, when did you... Like we're gonna deal with it. Like we're gonna do anything else with it. If I can lead everyone to that Drebber's workshop, I'll be the boss's boss before next week. Oh yes, Gina, you go for it. You go, girl. I'm sure you'll be promoted. Poor Gregson. Might have to end up going back to France by himself. Right then, Otto, leave it to me. Sorry. We're gonna get going after that dodgy engineer cove right this minute. Oh, but hang on. Someone's supposed to be on guard duty here all the time. I'm afraid we can't help. We need to get on with our investigation as well, Gina. Damn it. Right. Oh well, never mind. It ain't gonna be me what gets it in the neck. It'll be the boss. Poor Gregson again. Oh, but if we're onto something here, this would be good. Ready, Toby? Get that oil scent, have you? Come on then, boy. See you later. Alright. You go have fun. Try to keep up. I do hope the scent of that oil leads them to that swindler's workshop. Yeah, I hope so too. What if his workshop is the museum? That would kind of put things together, wouldn't it? Ideally before the dog swims across the channel to France. Oh no. Okay, we're all done here, except for examining the cops. Or the thing. Ah, the Crystal Tower. Right, she hasn't seen this yet. Oh. I can't believe I'm seeing it at such close proximity with my own eyes. You've really been looking forward to the great exhibition, haven't you, Miss Susato? Oh, yes. When I found out that I had to return to Japan, I'm afraid I cursed my luck. But here you are, back in London, gazing up at the magnificent tower. I know. Perhaps I was wrong to curse my luck so harshly. Kind of like me with the... That's how I felt when I looked up at the Walt Disney Castle for the first time in decades. What a shame that the symbolic landmark of the Great Exhibition has been damaged like that. Yes, unfortunately, the birdcage crashed in the most prominent position possible. It's the gods giving us a warning, if you ask me. Man must travel under his own steam and not cut corners with instantaneous kinesis. But imagine what might have happened if the birdcage had landed in a slightly different location. Yeah, I mean, at least it didn't land on people. The death toll could have been far worse. So I think perhaps it was a blessing in disguise. Well, the gods are benevolent, obviously. I did say it was just a warning. Man must travel under his own steam, or next time bird cages will rain down on all of you. Your faith is much stronger than I realized. Well, how do you think I passed the entrance exam for Yume University? It wasn't by studying alone. Oh, screw that. You're a bad man. Okay. Next time on Great Ace Attorney Resolve, we go up the stairs. Bye.